Fans, welcome to this week's Sports Chat. A few things to talk about. We're here this week at Jason's Video, located by Papa John's. And this past week, the Lady Cougars had a big upset against the Lady Wildcats of Oak Ridge.
Yeah, had been. I'm not going to say they were playing poorly, but they had lost a couple of games in a row. One to a powerful Fulton squad who finished runner-up in the state last year, and just a heartbreaking 1-point loss against, was it Corns? And which Coach Honeycutt told us that they did everything really well in that Corns game. They played great defense, they forced turnovers, but they just could not buy a basket. And you want to get your momentum going up, but into the tournament. They'd played well the 3 games, had won 3 in a row before that, and just like I said, pulled a big shocker. They got up early on Oak Ridge, got out 22-13 at the end of the first quarter, really hot shooting, and then they cooled off dramatically in the second quarter, only scored 4 points.
But, as a whole, against Oak Ridge, they played really well. Brooke Bain and Olivia Brown were just on point.
So they got in the second half, they got down by, I want to say it was 39-30 at one point they were down by. And it looked for all the world, you'd think Oak Ridge was going to put it away, but they fought really hard, they didn't give up. Got up 46-42 in the last 3 minutes of the game, and had a little bit of struggle hitting some free throws, but they played good defense. They got Oak Ridge. They got Oak Ridge tired out a little bit. They were able to extend their offense out on the floor and move the ball around. Oak Ridge could not get enough pressure on them to force, attempted 5 seconds to force drives or anything like that. Oak Ridge rallied, got it down to 46-45, but that's as close as they could get. Campbell County was able to control possession just enough and come out with a win. I believe Oak Ridge is number 1 in the, or we're tied at least at 10-2 in the district for first place. Campbell County's looking like they're going to be around 5th in the tournament. Pretty much they're going to have to win the rest of their games to maintain that for sure. They have 3 games starting Friday night with Clinton here.
Both of the district standings, both boys and girls are. Oak Ridge is on top in the boys.
Yeah, Oak Ridge got a really powerful team. They're way out in front. Campbell County's looking literally right now. They could finish anywhere from 2nd to 9th in the district with 3 games to go. They're only like a game or 2 ahead of the 9th place team, but they're only a game or 2 out of 2nd place.
And the 1st and 2nd seeds get an automatic region berth and a double bye.
Yeah, that would be huge. So that you automatically advance to the region. If Campbell County can win his last 3 games and make a few things happen, they can probably at least get to 3rd place, which gets a bye.
It's a single bye, and
then you only have to win 1 game to get into the.
It gives you a really good shot at hitting that regional tournament.
Yeah, it's coming down to the wire. They had a rough game against Oak Ridge, but pretty much everybody in the district has a rough game against Oak Ridge.
Right. They're just a powerful team.
They went to the state tournament last year. They only have 1 senior on the team this year, so they're probably going to go back again, and heck, they'll probably go back next year. They got a big alley-oop dunk. The guy was only a sophomore. They got 2 guys in the post that are 6'7"-ish, 6'6", 6'7". Just really athletic team, and they're hard to handle. They have a big game against Fulton coming up Saturday. And
if we were going to be in town, that would be worth going to.
Impressive road that they're going to have. But I say Campbell County just have to win that game or 2 in the tournament. You get to the regional tournament, see what can happen. And the Cougars, girls and boys, well, they're capable of beating everybody else in the district.
Oh, they are. The girls especially proven they can beat any team in the district.
That went over Oak Ridge, that proved that. But Campbell County are right there with Anderson County in the standings, and they swept this year. Just a bunch of teams are right there at 6 and 7, 7, 6, 7 and 5, just right in the same mixing pot. So it's a very tight race, and all you can ask coming into the last week of the season is try to play as well as you can, and try to position yourself in the tournament for a bye. And you're in position to try to go out and take a bye away, because the teams that are right around them competing, both of them have to play Oak Ridge again, which that's probably going to be 2 losses for those teams unless Oak Ridge decides they're going to mail it in. I don't think they will.
And if they were going to do that, then it started against Campbell County.
They've long since locked up the district, but the other they sort of play each other too. So those teams are going to have losses. The teams that are immediately right ahead of Campbell County in the standings, but it's up to Campbell County to get some wins, and that starts Friday night against Clinton, and then on the road next week. Tough to play on the road in the district. Everybody's finding it tough to play on the road. Everybody's So everybody's right around 500. The district's very evenly balanced behind Oak Ridge. And I mean, everybody's just, it's one of the only times I ever saw a district have that many teams, 8 teams that are all within a game of each other. And it's just everybody's beating everybody else just enough. And nobody's really separated themselves. So it's Campbell County's shot to do that.
This year for the tournament, we'll be traveling to the Fountain City area.
Yeah.
It's at Knox Central.
I always have fun at Central football games. They're really nice. Good athletic directors.
Good folks there at Central, and Central is located very conveniently to the main Scrumps Cupcakery, so we may have to make a trip in there.
Yeah. Scrumps are nice cupcakes. So, you know, Papa John's nice pizza. They got the cheeseburger pizza going again, folks.
My favorite pizza Papa John's does.
Hey, take advantage of it. Order you a big stack of them for the Super Bowl.
And if you're in the mood for dessert, they've got a brownie that is fantastic.
If you don't want to watch the Super Bowl, come down here to Jason's video. Get you a big handful of movies.
Listen, they got if you like baseball, they have possibly the best baseball series ever put to film at Eastbound and Down. I'm looking at Kenny Powers over there on the wall.
If you don't like baseball, you should like Kenny Powers.
That's true. That's very true. But I mean, you got everything you want here. You got comedy, drama, action, wrestling.
Oh yeah, I mean,
suspense, horror. I mean, we're sitting in the horror section, like right here, where we have See No Evil with Kane. There's probably a dozen better horror movies on the wall next to me.
But there are books everywhere. There's video game systems, video games, phones, everything you want. Jason will have for you. I'll say pick up pizza, pick up movies, pick up your phone.
Best way to spend a weekend. It's gonna be cold.
I'm not a particular fan of the teams in the Super Bowl. I'm pretty mad at the NFL still over the Dallas call, which I'm probably will take a while to get over. I don't really like the NFL. I mean, I like Gronkowski, and I don't care about anybody else. If I don't like Seattle's players, I don't like New England's players outside of Gronkowski. Deflated footballs, they probably should get a big penalty for that. They probably won't. Just, you know, the Patriots cheat all the time. You know, if you're always cheat, as the old saying goes.
Yeah, you know, it's an old wrestling adage, and apparently Bill Belichick was a fan of wrestling in the 80s.
Well, the extremely positive football note. Big week for UT football.
Had a big signing or a big commit today.
I can't remember the guy's name, but it's
Khalil Mohammed, maybe.
No, it's Corte something. Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway,
it's a name we'll learn later. He's 4-star linebacker. Tennessee has between the 2nd and 4th rated class among all the major services. They're second with Scout. I think they're 4th with Rivals and 4th with 24/7. That's all you can ask. You get a top 10 class, and Butch has managed 2 of them now. People at Tennessee manage top 10 classes. I mean, outside of Dooley, pretty much every coach that's coached here for a good, couple of 3-4 decades essentially signed top 10 classes.
Why wouldn't you want to come here? I mean, we have facilities that are just above and beyond.
But it'll be a big week next week. We'll have a lot to talk about in that. Tennessee's basketball, really tough portion of their schedule.
Saturday is the most bittersweet day of the year for a Tennessee basketball fan.
The big game with Auburn coming Saturday. We'll see what they can do then. I really think that
I think they beat Auburn.
I
think they beat Auburn bad.
We'll see how it goes. Kendall, you hear good news one day, bad news the next day. I don't know what's going to happen with him yet. I wish the NCAA would hurry and say one way or the other. Maybe we can start looking at Bruce back.
You never know. I mean, there's always hope if something happens to Donnie that, you know what, Bruce, Auburn's terrible. Come up here.
Well, Bruce, I believe, will come back. I don't know if they'll ever take him back. But that's the stuff going on this week in the noisy chat version of Sports Chat.
But fans, we will see you next week. We'll talk about the Super Bowl. We'll give you a district tournament preview. Have fun this weekend.